Last tech. The Imperium boasts an impressive array of weapons with their bombs and guns from cutting-edge explosives to old-school rifles. These weapons are the only things stopping total extinction, and it all starts with the reliable power of laser technology. The Lost weapon is the most iconic in the Imperium and works by firing a concentrated beam of light that vaporizes a target's surface on impact. For infantry, the LAS lineup starts with the LAS pistol, a compact sidearm favored by officers and vehicle crews, and the LAS gun, which is known as the galactic standard of the Astra Militarum. The LAS gun is produced in countless variations, from the dependable Cadian M36 to the cherished Vostroyan rifles. For those in specialized roles, the Long Loss offers sniper-level precision thanks to its extended barrel, while the Hotshot Hellgun is equipped with a hefty backpack power supply that fires high-output beams capable of melting through Space Marine ceramite armor. When it comes to heavy support, the technology shifts focus to either volume or sheer power. The multi-laser, for instance, employs rotating barrels to avoid overheating, enabling vehicle-mounted platforms like the Chimera to unleash 100 bolts per second into enemy ranks. At the top of the food chain is the las cannon, the Imperium's go-to anti-tank weapon. It channels the energy of an entire power cell into a single, devastating shot that can breach heavy hull plating, requiring a two-man crew from the Guard or the enhanced strength of a Space Marine to handle. LAS tech is so standardized that it's the most commonly upgraded weapon platform in the Imperium. Typical modifications include targeting arrays, scopes and logic engines for improved accuracy, and bayonets for close combat versatility. Above that, you have master-crafted upgrades, weapons meticulously refined by artisans and sanctified weapons, blessed with sacred oils by the ecclesiarchy. These are spiritually potent against demons, preferred by inquisitors and chaplains. Power packs can be recharged via generators or solar exposure. In an emergency, soldiers can even throw them into a campfire to gain a crude, partial charge. The Bolter. This is a beast of a weapon firing a 75 caliber round that's more like a tiny rocket than a traditional bullet. It starts with a small conventional charge that pushes the bolt out of the barrel, and as soon as it leaves the muzzle, a solid fuel rocket motor kicks in, sending it speeding toward its target. When it makes contact, a mass reactive fuse senses the penetration and triggers the main charge from within, which means the explosion occurs inside the target, not just on the surface. The bolt pistol is the compact version, typically issued to Space Marine sergeants and chaplains, who need their other hand free for a blade or crozius. It sacrifices some range and payload for better maneuverability. The full bolt gun, particularly the Astartes Mark 5B Godwin pattern, which is the most commonly used, is the iconic weapon of the Space Marines, originally created by the Emperor himself during the Unification Wars. Its recoil is so intense that it would break the wrists of a human, which is why it's designed to work seamlessly with the servo-assisted frame of power armor. The Storm Bolter takes it up a notch by linking two bolter mechanisms side by side, allowing Terminators and high-ranking Sisters of Battle to unleash a devastating rate of fire at close range without losing mobility. What makes the Bolter family effective is its ammunition. Standard bolt rounds already create catastrophic internal explosions, but the Death Watch and various Space Marine chapters stockpile specialized rounds for specific threats. Hellfire rounds ditch the warhead entirely in favor of mutagenic acid and thousands of needles, specifically designed to break down Tyranids. Stalker shells use a mercury slug and a gas cartridge instead of a rocket, enabling almost silent firing for stealth missions. Plasma. Imperial plasma weapons energize hydrogen fuel into a solar flare-like bolt fired via magnetic accelerators. Despite their massive destructive power, the Imperium's fading understanding of this technology makes every shot a lethal risk to the user. The plasma pistol serves as a high-status sidearm, offering immense power and a compact short-range frame. Officers and Space Marine sergeants carry the Mark III Sun Fury to signal both their authority and their willingness to wield volatile weaponry. The plasma gun is a rare infantry special weapon issued sparingly due to its extreme complexity. A Space Marine typically gets 12 shots per flask, requiring ritualized reloading procedures to prevent a catastrophic explosion. The Dark Angels chapter uniquely prioritizes plasma weaponry as a core part of their tactical identity. Their heavy plasma cannons fire massive, long-range bolts that usually require a vehicle mount or a Space Marine strength to operate. At the Titan scale, the Plasma Destructor provides Warlord-class war machines with versatile rapid-fire or high-intensity modes. The even larger Plasma Annihilator, adapted from Starship batteries, can liquefy Orc Gargants and turn entire battlefields into glass. Melta weapons. These smoking guns induce submolecular reactions and pressurized fuel to project focused blasts of extreme heat. This process vaporizes organic targets and causes metal to explode into superheated gas instantly. The Melta gun is a reliable infantry tool used by Space Marines and Sisters of Battle for breaching heavy armor. It doubles as an engineering instrument capable of cutting through thick pipes or massive ice blocks. The Multi-Melta is a heavy, twin-barreled variant that extends the weapon's effective range and destructive output. It is the primary anti-tank choice for vehicle mounts and dreadnoughts. Meanwhile, the Inferno pistol is a rare, miniaturized sidearm with production secrets that are nearly extinct. Lord Commander Dante famously carries a relic version of this weapon known as the Infernus pistol. Melta's primary limitation is its short range, as the beam loses potency rapidly beyond 30 meters. Despite this, nothing in the Imperial arsenal is more effective at destroying bunkers or tanks at point-blank range. Auto weapons. Long before the Lasgun arrived, the autogun was the standard boomstick for every grunt in the galaxy. It's basically a gas-operated rifle that spits metal slugs, reminiscent of the old-school assault rifles from pre-Imperial Earth. This straightforward and tough technology means they can be produced on any basic factory in a primitive world, although they fell out of style because carrying heavy boxes of bullets is a literal pain compared to the Lasgun's easy-to-charge batteries. The autopistol and autogun are the go-to gear for planetary defense forces and underhive gangs that don't have access to the high-tech forge worlds. Even though the Imperial Guard officially transitioned to Lasguns in the 32nd millennium, billions of secondary troops still depend on these mechanical lead launchers. The autocannon is the heavy, rapid-fire version used by Imperial Guard heavy weapons squads and Sentinel Walkers to tear through light vehicles and infantry. It's the perfect middle ground for when you want more punch than a bolter, but don't want to wait for a Lascannon to recharge. However, old-school malfunctions are a common issue, as poorly maintained autoguns often jam or even explode when soldiers try to use low-quality propellant. Flamers. The flamer is the simplest weapon in the Imperial arsenal and possibly the most psychologically effective. A pressurized canister of promethium feeds into a pilot light at the barrel tip, igniting as it exits the nozzle in a continuous torrent of liquid fire. Promethium is the 41st millennium's equivalent of napalm, a highly volatile gel that burns at extreme temperatures and continues burning on its own even underwater or in the vacuum of space. Targets who are not killed instantly die slowly because the gel cannot be extinguished by normal means. The hand flamer is the compact sidearm version, good for only a few shots before the canister is exhausted. Sisters of Battle Seraphim carry 2 of these. The standard flamer is the workhorse, and among the Adeptus Sororitas, it carries specific religious significance. Being entrusted with a flamer is a confirmed honor within the order, reflecting the weapon's function as a purifying instrument. The Salamanders chapter makes wider use of flamers than almost any other, consistent with their close-range combat doctrine and their homeworld's volcanic character. The heavy flamer doubles the nozzle arrangement and draws from a backpack fuel reservoir worn by a second crew member. Its gouts of burning promethium are almost impossible to dodge, and it remains the weapon of choice for Terminators clearing Space Hulks and Catachan regiments operating in dense jungle terrain. The incinerator is the Grey Knights variant, using psychically buffed promethium that burns at higher temperatures and is specifically lethal to demons. It is spiritually active in a way standard flamers are not, making it indispensable for the chamber militant of the Ordo Malleus. Grav-Weaponry. Dating back to the dark age of technology, these devices were originally non-military tools similar to tractor beams. The graviton gun was weaponized during the Great Crusade, and even then the tech priests of Mars admitted they barely understood how it worked. In the 41st millennium, the full construction knowledge is locked in the deepest vaults of Mars. Only the most promising tech marines are entrusted with the binary psalms needed to maintain them, which is why the entire family is effectively exclusive to Space Marine chapters and the Adeptus Mechanicus. Grav weapons fire a stream of graviton particles that dramatically increases the local gravitational field of a target area, making whatever is caught in the beam exponentially heavier. Against a tank, the entire hull crumples inward as if squeezed by a giant fist, triggering internal explosions. The Grav pistol is a compact sidearm used in close quarters where its lower output still reliably stuns or immobilizes anything hit, while the Grav gun is the standard infantry configuration. The Grav cannon is the heavy version, mounted on rapier platforms and Centurion heavy infantry, capable of crumpling light vehicles outright. A secondary effect that makes Grav weapons uniquely useful is what happens to targets that survive. Anything hit but not killed is left stunned and immobilized by the disorienting combination of sudden crushing pressure and distorted gravity. Explosives. Imperial explosive technology has come a long way, from basic frag and crack munitions crafted for shrapnel saturation or piercing through armor, to advanced thermal and matter-based solutions. This evolution reaches its peak during the Great Crusade with Melta bombs and plasma grenades, which harness superheated energy to melt through heavy plating or incinerate wider areas using rare and costly materials. The Psych-Out grenade stands as a powerful anti-warp technology that uses sacred dust gathered from the Emperor's own remains at the Golden Throne, and is mainly used by the Grey Knights to violently cut a Psyker's connection to the warp and instantly banish demons. While the Vortex grenade is a terrifyingly unstable device that opens a temporary hole into the warp. This rift destroys anything it touches, but it moves unpredictably and can easily kill the person who threw it. Meanwhile, their missile launcher family is designed to provide flexible fire support for both the Astra Militarum and the Adeptus Astartes. It ranges from the handy standard launcher to the shoulder-mounted Cyclone. High-mobility platforms like the Typhoon deliver gyro-stabilized aerial fire, while the Whirlwind and the Exorcist act as heavy indirect fire artillery, capable of wreaking havoc on entrenched positions or even Titans. On the other hand, Imperial cannon technology all started with the adaptable Lehman-Russ battle cannon, which has since evolved into a range of specialized variants. This evolution brought us the impressive rocket-assisted Baneblade cannon, the long-barreled Vanquisher that excels in precision, the short-range Conqueror designed for taking out infantry, and the Demolisher cannon, which is charged with plasma and built to smash through fortified defenses. Then there's the Shadow Sword's Volcano Cannon, the most powerful weapon ever fitted to an Imperial ground vehicle. This beast of a laser requires the tank to completely shut down its drive engine and reroute all power to its capacitors before it can fire a single shot. Thanks for watching until the end. Click here to check out another video and see you in the next one.